Although relatively quiet so far, we are expecting at least 2 major alien-related news events this year. The scientific paper revealing the details of the potential alien radio transmission from Proxima Centauri b, the nearest exoplanet to us, should be out within months. The United States congressionally mandated UAP Task Force report on unexplained phenomenon is on track to be released June 1st. And if this 7-year-old Reddit post on alien abductions is to be believed, July 18th of this year will be truly transformational. Normally, I wouldn't devote an entire video to a single source Reddit post, but this one seems different. The story was told in response to a question posted November 19th, 2013 in the Ask Reddit subreddit. Alien abductees of Reddit, or people who have claimed to see a UFO, what's your story? The question shot to the front page of Reddit and amassed hundreds of stories. It's extremely interesting reading through the top posts. They all are very believable and describe truly unexplainable events. This thread, linked below, really shows the abundance of strange phenomenon that people experience. Things that they only feel free to share anonymously on the internet. But one story was oddly specific. Instead of looking for answers about their experience, Throawawylien seemed well informed about their abduction experience and fills us in with extraordinary details. It really seems like a story that is too good to be true, but unlike other abduction stories here, Throawawylien makes a bold prediction. In 7 years, aliens will make full-scale contact with Earth. The 7 years is almost up. 7 years ago, the prediction and entire story seemed incredibly far-fetched. But now, given the snowball of UFO disclosure since 2017 and these 2 big alien news stories looming, widespread alien contact by July 18th of this year seems almost reasonable. And while I still take this story with a huge grain of salt, it's worth listening to. If the predictions do pan out in July, having heard this may put you a step ahead of the rest.
Throwaway account, because I'm afraid. I was first abducted in 1987. I was 12 years old. I say abducted, but it's not like that. Actually, you go willingly. It's scary, but it's exciting too. And they're somehow able to make you feel okay about things. It's not until later that you feel bad or like you've been violated. And they don't do a lot of probing or anything like that. That's Hollywood nonsense. They look inside of people sometimes, but they have machines that do that. Not really machines, but it's more like a room where things get done and walls are... It's hard to explain. So just imagine that the walls are kind of like X-ray machines. That's the easiest way to describe it. Sometimes there would be others there and they would be looking into them, or they'd put them under and cut them open, but not usually. They took tissue samples from us all, I think, and they'd never put you under or give you any anesthetic or anything. They'd just poke you. With like those things, they take samples of the ocean floor, like that, but really small. They pull out chunks of you. It's usually done on the butt or on the lower back. Mostly they talked with me. Just questions, and they'd show me things like television shows and things and ask me questions about them. I think the walls measure our reactions to things too, the same ways they take x-rays. I don't know that, but it's a feeling I got. They never let you ask questions about what they're doing. Even once I got friendly with a few of them, they just do not like it when you ask them questions. They hate it. You can't understand their language. It just sounds like, I'm positive that we'll never be able to communicate with them in their language. I should mention that these are the grays that you hear about, except they aren't gray. They're sort of beige, and it's clothes anyway. They aren't naked. I don't know if there are others, People say there are, but I've only ever met these. Anyway, you cannot understand them, but they can understand you. And they can put thoughts directly in your head, but they can't hear your thoughts. You have to speak to them, and they cannot hear very well, or else they're not very good at understanding English, so you have to speak loudly and slowly. I don't know if they understand other languages, but I'm pretty sure they would. They are interested in all of us and everything that goes on. They like a lot about our culture, too. They like some of our music. Bluegrass is their favorite so far I've seen. They like it a lot. They love that African instrument that looks like a gourd with 13 strings. Love it. But they cannot stand horns or horn music, so they hate classical music and jazz. I think trumpets sort of sound like their language. It's a feeling I get, but I've never been able to ask them. They've taken me up just about every 2 years, I'd say, since 1987. Just about. Sometimes it's more often, and I didn't go up at all between 1995 and 2000. They usually keep me for what feels like a day, but turns out to be about 4 hours, usually. The longest I stayed with them was 3 weeks. During that time, they made me make phone calls and keep up appearances. They aren't really bad, well, I was gonna say people, but they're not really bad people, or whatever. The two that I got sort of close with told me to call them Jack and Gina. I don't know if they are male or female, or even if they have different sexes, but I know those aren't their real names. Those are just names they told me. They will make contact with Earth on a wide scale in 2021. That's the year when they'll land here or colonize or whatever. I'm not exactly sure what their plan is. They don't seem to be evil or dangerous. Their planet is, so they told me anyway, a very long ways away. They couldn't explain to me how far, they said, because it was too far for me to understand and it was too close to the side. I have no idea what that meant, but it's always stuck with me. Home is too far away for you to understand, but also close to the side. We don't have anything they want, so they told me, so I don't really know why they came here, or why they've taken so many of us up, or why they've gotten to be friends with me. They do not have any religion, and they don't need oxygen or water or trees or anything. I don't think. They don't eat people. I don't think they want to breed with us or genetically engineer us. I don't know what they want. But they've been coming here for, I guess, at least 10 or 20,000 years. I'm not very good about history and Upper Paleolithic and all of that, but they've got videos of all sorts of stuff, and they've showed me videos of Neanderthals and Cro-Magnon, which really were just like us humans, except there was way less diversity, and all other sorts of human-like beings, us or whatever. And they showed me video of the pyramids being built, and this huge stone building that I guess is lost somewhere or was destroyed, but it was in Europe, I could tell from the video. They have video of them talking with all sorts of people from throughout the history of Earth. They showed me some of them and asked me questions about them, but I couldn't understand any of it because I only speak English, and even English from 200 or 300 years ago is so different that I could hardly understand it. So I told them they probably knew more about it than I did. I was up 3 weeks ago. That was the last time. I'm pretty sure that I'll go up again in a couple of years, but I'm not sure after that. The whole program, or whatever they call it, is going to change in July 2021. I think they said 8th, but it could have also been the 18th. I wasn't hearing very well. They weren't trying to intimidate me or even warn me, so I don't think we have anything to worry about. I hope they don't show the videos they took of me when they first started taking me up, because I was so scared and young, and they're embarrassing.
Throawawylien goes on to answer questions for a while in this thread. telling us that as far as they know, these aliens have never interceded in our history, and that these abductions don't happen while they are in bed. Apparently, the aliens are still in close contact. 2 days later, Throawawylien posted,
"No more questions. They are not happy with me. Sorry."
and disappeared. Did this story actually occur? Mythbuster Jamie Heineman called it out 7 years ago, saying, "Of all things that didn't happen, this didn't happen the most." Throwawalyin's response,
"I get that you don't believe me, and I don't blame you. I wouldn't believe it either if I've never experienced it, I think. Anyway, July of 2021, and you'll change your tune."
I, for one, can't wait to see if these events do pan out. Luckily, we don't have that long to wait. I'll be continuing to cover all alien-related news stories leading up to July 2021 and beyond, so be sure to subscribe to keep up to date. And of course, thanks for watching Rather Be Squidding.